With the recent release of the newest Mean Girls film, I thought I'd go back and review the 2004 movie, and even 20 years later, this one still holds up pretty well. You know, to be honest, I never thought about reviewing this, but I figured since I have a whole lot of female subscribers and women who watches my channel, then I thought I finally made this video just for them. So the story of this one is that Katie, she is a high school teenager who spent most of her life in Africa being homeschooled by her parents. But when they moved back to the United States, she ends up going to high school and she joins a female social clique called the Plastics. And from there, it's an interesting high school movie from the early 2000s. And to be honest here, this was not a first time watch for me. I saw this a very long time ago when I myself was in high school. This one is entertaining. The characters, the story, the acting, to even the music, it all comes together to make quite a decent teen comedy. And while I wouldn't put this over other high school movies out there such as The Breakfast Club or even Ferris Bueller's Day Off, this one is just a fun time overall. The legacy of this film speaks for itself. From books to video games to even a stage musical, this one definitely has a cultural impact that is still being felt even all these years later. At the end of the day, this movie is very relevant, and it was also one of the best films that Lindsay Lohan was a part of early on in her movie career. Now, this movie does have some interesting characters, such as Katie. I think Lindsay Lohan did such a good job. You know, the interesting thing about this character is that in the beginning, when she doesn't really have any friends, she's eating in the bathroom stalls. And you know, it's quite sad, but then she joins the Plastics and she becomes a mean girl herself. She becomes quite awful to her friends, Damien and Jonas. She spread lies, rumors about the math teacher, played by Tina Fey. And ironically enough, Regina, she's probably the worst of the characters when it comes to the Plastics. Rachel McAdams does a great job. And then there's Karen and Gretchen, the other two Plastics. I have to say, all of them, they spread these false rumors and lies. And in comes the burn book, which Regina just totally makes fun of all of the teen girls in this movie. One of the most interesting things that I have talked to people about this film throughout the years is that I have known some women. They said this is one of their favorite movies, especially when they was teenagers themselves, because this film is so relatable to them. Now, this movie is kind of relatable to me as well. And what I mean by that is that, well, the high school experience, we all been there. We all know what high school was like. We all been picked on, bullied. A lot of us have gone through some terrible things in high school, but we moved past it. What this film represented was some interesting concepts that actually still holds up. And, you know, it's apparent that this film was a thing of its time. Now, I haven't seen the newest Mean Girls film. Maybe one day I'll get around to watching that. But interesting enough, this film has some good character development, some great music, and some life lessons about high school and learn to not spread false rumors and gossip. But basically, this film, well, it's not only is it really entertaining, it's also funny as well. If you haven't seen this one, then definitely check it out, especially if you're a woman, because this one, it is well worth your time. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Now, surprisingly, this one never got an official sequel, but it would have been interesting to see all these characters just 20 years older. But for one reason or another, we just never got in that film. One of the big lessons we can learn from this movie is to be ourselves and don't try to change for other people, because at the end of the day, we're all different and unique in our own ways. Not a perfect teen comedy in my opinion, but it sure is a whole lot of fun and just downright enjoyable even all these years later. And that's my review of Mean Girls. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.